Let me just make something clear. My time working in the strip club industry did not make me hate women. I think that women are beautiful creatures, and obviously I'm very attracted to them sometimes. I think that God created them perfectly, mistakes included. And I mean mistakes meaning, rough edges where, you get moody, and men do it too. I'm not saying women are moody and men aren't. Trust me, I'm a bitch and a half sometimes. But that being said, I don't hate women, and I don't think the pole is the right way for a woman. I've seen women at 18 go into that line of work, and I've had opportunity to excel very high in that area. I chose sex and leaving, and when I went back, I chose drugs because I wanted to numb myself from the disgusting surroundings that I was in. When you have to serve pimps, when you have to serve tricks, all just so some mom or some whore makes her daily $1,000 so she can go blow it on Prada or whatever she spends it on. Hopefully something smart like an education. Rarely the case. That's not the ticket. That's not the place where women need to be. And OnlyFans, it's just the same thing. I'm not saying you can't make a real good living off of those things. I know you can. I just, I think that you're crossing lines of morality that quite possibly have eternal consequences. And I don't think you're going to hell for doing OnlyFans. I don't think you're going to hell for dancing on a stripper pole. I know you're not. But I think that without the grace of God, without that covenant of Jesus Christ, you fucking quite possibly will be going to hell. I don't know. I know that prostitution is wrong, and I know that, it's really just the way it goes. That industry inevitably has prostitution in it. You cannot stop it. Unless you got AI on the cameras watching for penetration and literally pointing it out as soon as it happens, alerting the police about it. That's the only way to stop it. To stop cash transactions, that's the only way to stop it. And even then, people will still be prostitutes within their own home. They'll still decide to go out and do sex work through the phone book, through dating agencies. If you ever look at the Las Vegas phone book, escorts are the entire list. It's just escort services. You think that they're not whores? You think that they aren't prostitutes? Strippers, entertainers are sometimes very respectable and successful women. But they're sex addicts, probably. They're greedy, probably. They're judgmental, probably. They're vain, probably. All right, so you get the point. And you could say a bunch of shit about me. I'm probably this. I'm probably that. There's a whole bunch of assumptions you can make about me. And it wouldn't even necessarily be false on some of them. Everybody's... That's why I like the scripture that we all fall short of the glory of God. Because otherwise, if you say one person does and one person doesn't, well, then it's like he's playing favorites. And I know, coming from a mom and a dad that were imperfect, they played favorites. I was the youngest. I was the favorite. I was the easiest going. I was the most honest. I was the hardest working. Until this point now, I think I probably bested my brothers. My brother Rob got his shit together in the last couple of years, and I'm super proud of him. But as a brother, what he was to me wasn't enough. You know, I'm not blaming him for my actions. I'm just saying, as a brother, he was a poor influence, and he was also never really supportive in any way to me. He's got a lot of kids. I can't blame him, you know? Can't blame him for not being that for me. But I can look at my brothers and say, you're both older than me. One of you won't, one of them is legit lost his mind. Can't stay sober for more than 24 hours. Rob is a good father, and I'm super proud of him, but he absolutely introduced drugs into my life. He absolutely abused me when I was a child. He still makes excuses to this day about why he had it worse than me, and that's not the point of the fucking deal at all. You don't beat up a 5-year-old kid, you know? You just don't. You don't beat up a fucking child. And he got a pass on a lot of stuff in his life. He could have done some time, and he didn't. So I'm thankful for that. But at the same token, maybe you should teach your brothers and your sisters what it's like to be in trouble and to stop them from going down that road. You should. You should absolutely, especially if you're the oldest. It's your responsibility to open the eyes of your younger siblings. It's not going to be your fault if they don't make it. But if you don't try, you should be ashamed of yourself. Really. I mean, it's just how it is. I think that an older brother has a responsibility to shepherd the family in a way. You know, shepherd the direction of everybody. And my brother Rob was always kind of like, just leave me alone. We're all better than you. You know, hit me up at Christmas and I'll talk some shit to you. That's what my brother was. I always looked up to my uncle just because he came from the same background as like doing time and maybe even some gang activity, you know, not that I did, but he had a violent crime when he was rather young, and he learned from it. And not only did he learn from it, he turned his life around. Not only did he turn his life around, he made a huge fucking like leap into success. And not only did he do that, he then inherited his dad's property and started his own business, started his own family. That's honor, right? And he has always been a role model to me. The difference between my uncle and my brother, my uncle didn't beat me up when I was a child. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes to fuck up your little brother. Is to just beat them when they're young. So think about that next time you're picking on your brother. Next time you're picking on your sister. You're fucking their head up. They're not at an age where you're too young to understand abuse, to understand what the fuck's going on. You're still spawning in. That's gonna fuck them up for life. I'm not trying to be some victim here. I don't care anymore. I forgive him. I really do. But all that being said, I've been dealing with those issues all the way until now. You know, it's like until this year that I finally dropped that off of a cliff and said, fuck it, I don't care anymore. I mean, it's your choice. This stuff right here, going for $50 a box now. Remember the last time a couple times ago, I was at the pharmacy and a school bus driver came in and asked for Narcan for the school. Said that it was going to be free. They didn't give it to her, but I'm sure they did later. And when I heard that, I thought, what the fuck is really going on? Because this shit's making it onto school buses. You know, it's enraging enough that I have to look at the people on the bus and tell them, stop. Which is not that common, but when it happens, I'm very passionate about it. I'll fucking do that shit on the bus. Take it under the bridge and die with fucking dignity. And I hate the idea of people ODing and dying because I could have been that guy. I could have been that guy so many times. Not so many times, but I could have been that guy. You know, I dipped my toes in. I experienced relapse multiple times. It's part of recovery. And, well, it's, if you don't want your sibling to turn to something that's unhealthy, beating them or belittling them their whole life is just not going to be conducive to that success. I made the right choices growing up in a lot of ways, and here and there I was wronged, but at the end of the day, it's you, it's your choices, it's your actions that are gonna make you go somewhere, and wherever you go, fair or not, there's a good chance that life's not gonna be fair about it. That's just how it works. My 8-year-old son is already saying that to his mama, and I'm happy to hear it, because life is not going to be fair. You might be the motherfucker that has to learn how to fish, has to learn how to hunt, and has to learn how to protect your family from fucking God knows what. God knows what. So, and I'm not saying women don't have that same exact responsibility. They do. We all are charged with the same responsibilities. Some of us have to step up in different ways, but it's a team at the end of the day. Always. If a Christian man is leading his family, you don't think that the woman is 100% on board with every decision he makes? He's going to be running that by her like it's fucking life depends on it, because what is he going to do if his wife leaves him? That's his other half. You're fucked. Trust me, as a guy who lost the love of his life, a guy who worked his ass off to make love work, and a guy who still is in love to this day with her. It is what it is, man. You lose what you can't be accountable for. And not only did she stand up and be a single mother, raising a child and an adopted child, she stood up and became a hero as a result of everything. Not only is this a wonderful place for women, it's even more eye-opening for men. For me, for my son's stepdad. They work so hard, and lately I've been not working at all. I've just been depressed. I've been hateful. I've been dishonest a little bit. That's the big one for me, because I hate dishonesty. But I feel so much better now that I'm actually considering honesty and considering what I want in life, where I want to go, and what I want to do. I just want to be happy. And I think that God's love, and I think that anybody who has anything negative to say about that can get out of my face. Just for real. If you don't believe in God, that's okay. Go away. And if you want to have a discussion about it that's not going to make me question my faith, then sure, let's talk. But this shit where people try to disprove God to you, I just don't see the point in that. And it really, I remember in prison I used to confront people about this, because prisoners, inmates, love to point out to people who are changing to Christianity in the pen, you waited till you went here to do it. Who the fuck cares? You waited till you got here? Yeah, I waited till I got here, because now I've sat down. Now God sat me down to fucking learn. But you thought he was gonna fucking let me out there free? Run around like a jackass high and believe in Jesus? That'd be embarrassing for the church. No, God's gotta sit you down sometimes and say, hey, open your fucking eyes. Pardon my language. So, I wanted to serve the people. I got to serve the people. Even though I had a problem stealing back in the day, which now is not an issue to me. And all that being said, things could be worse. And people could be more judgmental. I could be, in trouble for my mistakes. But I think the key to a better future for us all is just admitting that we've all broken the law at some point. We're all capable of breaking the law. And, the law is not higher than anybody. Nobody is higher than the law. The law is for civilized people, it's for civilized society. So if we can't hold the commandments as, truth, then what good are we anyways? There's a bare minimum requirement for civilized society, and it's following the law. That's it. You go speeding, whatever. Listen to your music weird, tell the police officer, hey, I love this song. It distracted me. You like racing? Go on a track, man. You're risking lives out there. You fucking idiot. You like drug dealing for money because you're greedy. You're destroying lives. What the fuck is wrong with you? You think dealing out murder is the way to go? Great. Addicted to sex. It's not even that fun. It's really not that great. I have a huge dick and I have fun having sex, but if you don't love somebody, then it just feels weird and fucking nasty, especially if their body count is higher than 20. And I mean that. I for real mean that. People who pass their pussy and their dick around like petri dishes are disgusting. And I mean that. Wholeheartedly, I fucking mean that. The amount of times I've had sex, sure, a lot. But with one partner faithfully. How can you be honest with someone if you're not even honest with yourself? You cheat on everybody. If you're that person that cheats on everybody, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're not a player. God didn't make you in his image so you could play the hearts of his daughters. God didn't make you in his image so that you could go and steal the hearts of men and put it on your rap songs and put it on your bling or whatever. I don't know who the fuck does that, right? I'm not attacking anybody personally, but I'm just saying. And actually, let me reiterate that. Women are guilty even outside of rap, and especially outside of rap. I'm not going to say that it's, specifically rap women who are sinful. All women are sinful. All women fall short of the glory of God. All men are sinful. All men fall short of the glory of God. You think I'm crazy? I'm sitting here preaching to myself. But am I? Is this just me? It seems to me that anybody could see this. Anybody could agree with this opinion. And it could go viral. Millions of people could view it. How many seeds would that plant? And how many mustard seeds then could grow into faith, grow into a tree? If you've ever seen a mustard tree, it's massive, right? Big tree. And what do they say? A mustard seed amount of faith can move mountains, right? Move mountains. It just goes to show, the power God has in you, entrusted you with, it exceeds this life. It exceeds what we're experiencing here, and I don't know what the difference between the Quran and the Bible is exactly. I haven't studied that. But I know that Jesus is the mark of the covenant, and if you really are following Christ, if something's wrong about the Bible, something's incorrect about it, you don't have to worry about that. There's no reason that you need to worry about a small, incorrect translation. I don't know anything about any incorrect translations. I don't have any theories on incorrect translations. I just trust it how it is, and I think that still, I still believe in, I'm doubling down on my statement. I think racist people should go to church. I think gay people should go to church. I think white people and black people and Mexican people should go to church. I think that we should all go to churches together, mixed, because I've been to black churches, I've been to white churches, and trust me, there is predominantly one-color churches. Unfortunately, that's the case. But let's get some inner city churches coming into the big churches with the white people. Let's get that going on, where the gang activity is. Let's get them up in there. You know what I mean? Let's get the white people into the ghetto churches, into the places where they're not comfortable. I'd love that. I wouldn't love to be in the position, but greater is He, right? Greater is God. Greater is the path of God, His plan, not Drake's. And I think Drake might be a follower of Christ, so I feel bad about my past. I hit him up on Facebook and had some initiative. I presented it to David Goggins, presented it to a few other people, right? And I was just trying to put an initiative against fentanyl in order. And unfortunately, there's controversial things about me that probably prevented people with fame from fucking with me. But I'm not a snitch, and got good paperwork, so is what it is, you know. I don't gotta be famous to love God. Shit, I don't even gotta be anything to love God. I'll do it till the day I die with nothing. Hopefully I'm not the guy who he drops down to hell. Faithful servant, I did all these things in your name. No, you didn't. It's the scariest verse in the book. Somebody who thought they lived their whole life in Christ and was never correct. How much more diligent should you be in your walk in faith? It's not an easy life to lead, and it does say that few people will make it. Kind of makes sense when you think about it. Why would everybody make it if a lot of people don't want to admit they're sinful to begin with? You might have a curse on you, you know, but that's from Satan, not God. I don't know how that stuff works. I just know that in the presence of evil, I can feel it. And in the presence of good, I can feel it. There's a vibration. You can read people, whether they're being truthful or not. I don't know how, but there's some sort of inclination, some sort of evolutionary trait that allows us to do so. Sitting here at 5 in the morning talking to myself. Live your lives.